Class 7, you know that we are going to read this chapter, that is Alien Hand, which we have started. Now, from class 7, can you tell me that what you have read in the chapter till now? Who will tell me? Just raise up your hand to explain. Now, let me see from class 7, hey, who will tell me? Yes, okay, just me. Tell me. Yes, just me, what you have read? Can you tell me? Yes, who will tell me what you have read? 7th A class, what you have read in the chapter? Tell me. No one from 7th A class. Open ma'am told that 7th class is very good. They will give you immediate answers. Who will tell me now? No one. So from 7C, yes, who will tell me what we have read? What we have read in this chapter, just raise up your hands so that we can start. No, very slow. So now in this chapter, let me repeat that we have read about a young boy whose name was Tilu. Okay, so this young boy Tilu, he has, you can say, he has seen his father going through a secret passage and going to his work. Where this boy along with his family was living, they were living under the surface of earth. So this boy, he was very curious to know that actually daily where his father is going. So one day what happened, this boy, he has stolen the secret card of his father, that was of course an entry slip, that secret passage, and ultimately he tried to go to the surface of Mars, but the security arrangements, they were very strong. He was not able to go there as he was caught by one of the security man, and he has handed him over to his parents. So his father, who was very, you can say, understanding in nature, he thought to clear all the doubts of Tilu. So he told Tilu that it is not possible for him to go to the surface. Why? Because he is daily wearing special suit, and moreover he is also equipped with special kind of training. Special training is also given to him so that he can survive the temperature at the top of the surface. So now after that, yesterday what we have read, that the next day when Tilu's father, he has gone to his, you can say, workplace, there in the control room, in front of big screen, all the colleagues were standing and they were discussing something with each other. What was that? They have seen us, they were looking at a dot on the screen. What was that dot? It was actually spacecraft. Now, from where this spacecraft has come? This was the thing of worry for them. Now, finally, from the president's side, a conference was organized, and ultimately what happened, and ultimately you can say they are trying to find out how to take hold of this, you can say, spacecraft, whether it is going to cause any harm to them. So now till here we have read, now the president has come to announce that what this spacecraft is, and he is going to ask about the suggestions of various officers. So here it is. So first of all, yesterday we have read from here from number 1. From number 1, who is number 1? Number 1 is the in charge of defense. From him, the president has asked his suggestion. He was known for his courage and wisdom. So this number 1, he was also very intelligent. He is courageous in nature. He is intelligent in nature. So, sir, if we wish, we can totally destroy these spacecraft with our missiles. So he said, sir, I think that we have enough missiles with us so that we can destroy these spacecrafts, but that won't make us any wiser. But this would not be a wise decision by us. We should not do this. We do not have the capacity to render these craft unoperational in space. He said, actually, sir, there is no need to do so, because we can also put these as unoperational without doing any work. But should they land, we can render them ineffective anytime we choose. But if they land here on the planet, we can also make them ineffective, means they cannot work. We can stop their functioning if we choose. Our reports say that they do not contain living beings, but they only have instruments. He said, sir, we have made various researches and we have come to know that these instruments, in these spacecrafts, there are no men. There are only instruments. Number two, your opinion, please. The president asked the scientist on the committee. Now, the president, he wanted to get another opinion. Now, he asked from some other person who was number two. Now, who is this number two? This number two is a scientist of the committee. What he said, just see, I recommend non-interference and passive observation. Non-interference means that we will not interfere in this. And passive observation means from very far side. We will stay aside and we will observe what they are doing. Since we do not know the power of the senders of these spacecraft and we are still in the dark about their intentions, it is wise not to reveal our existence. So he said, actually, we don't know who are they and why they have come here to our planet. So they are finding us. We should not tell them that we are here. If we will make any attack, if we will take any action, then they will come to know that we are here. And ultimately, we are here. And ultimately, what will happen? They will be successful in their plan. So, let us not make anything. Let us not do anything. And then it will be possible. If we destroy these spaceships or render them ineffective, we might reveal our existence. But if we will try to make these ships ineffective, I think they will come to know about our existence. And this is their mission. This is the reason why they have come here. They actually wanted to know where are we living. So they will come to know about us. So I don't think so that it is really wise that we should show them about our existence. Let them find. Now the president looked at number three, who was a social scientist. Social scientist means the person who is related with the life of the people, social life of the people. And that the other one, that is, you can say, scientist, he was related with the scientific experiments. So now the problem has come to, you can say, the third one, that is social scientist. So now let us see what this social scientist has to say about it. He rarely agreed with number two. He was not agreeing with number two. He said, sir, I'm not agreeing with number two. But this was one of those rare occasions when he did. So otherwise, most of the time, this social scientist is always agreeing to scientists. But this time, what happened? What is the reason he was not agreeing? Let us see. He said, sir, I agree with number two. In fact, I will go so far as to say that we should keep our surface activities to the minimum, thus creating the impression that there is no life on this planet. Now he said, sir, I agree with number two. Like number two is saying that we should not do anything so as to reveal them that we are doing something. I think so. That we should not do this. Why? Because let them find us. If we will not show any activity, they will try to find us and we will create this impression that we are not living here. They will think that there is no life on this planet. And if they will come to know that there is no life on this planet, the next time they will never try to come here. But if we will show any activity, they will finally do more experiments. They will come here again and again to find more about us. So he said, sir, I think that we should not do any kind of activity. Now, Fortunately, our surface conditions do give that impression. So he said, sir, actually the surface conditions of our planet also, they also give us similar type of indication that there is no life on this planet, because if somebody would come at the top of this planet, as there is no life, they will simply come to know that there is no life here. Nobody will come to know that there is life under this planet. So I think so, not show any kind of activity, right? So why then, why number 2 and 3 did not want to show any kind of activity? Yes, raise up your hands. Why number 2 and 3 did not want to show any kind of activity? Yes, class 7. Who will tell me that why number 2 and 3 they did not want to show any kind of activity? Yes, who will tell me? Yes, Suhana. Good.
Yes, ma'am. Number 2 and number 3 did not want to show any activity because if they do so, then the spacecraft would come to know and the humans will land on the Mars many times.
Yes, they will come to know that there is life on this planet. And again, they will be coming to probe into to find out more about this planet, and they will also carry out their experiments there. Okay, so this is the reason why they did not want to show any kind of, you can say, activity there. So, before the president could speak, his personal telephone rang. He lifted the receiver and listened quietly for a minute. So now, before the president could give his suggestion that what is to be done, immediately on the side, his telephone rang. He picked up the receiver to listen. Who is the other person on the other side? So before, and he was quiet for a minute. He was simply listening to that person. So what then afterwards, what he said, colleagues, the first spacecraft has landed. So what he said, now colleagues, now the thing is that the first spacecraft, it has landed on a planet. So now again, this is a problem. This is a thing of worry for them. Now, it was a red letter day in Tilu's life. So what is red letter day? What is, can anybody make any guess? What is red letter day? What is red letter day? Who will try to make any guess? What is red letter day? Can anyone make any guess about it? No? So let me tell you that red letter day means very important day. It is very important day and day to be remembered. Red letter day is very important day or day to be remembered. So in Tilu's life, this was really very important day. He has never seen this kind of discussion. Not this kind of discussion, and not, he has also not seen any kind of spacecraft. And now the time has reached. What will happen? The day he was waiting for, he was actually waiting for this day, for his father had at last taken him to the control room. From here, he could see the alien spacecraft on his TV screen. That was because what happened now, the day has come when Tilu, he was taken by his father to the control room. When he has gone to control room, he has seen a big screen in front of him. And on the big screen, that spacecraft was visible to him. And he was fascinated to see this. What a funny looking thing, Daddy. What does it contain? Tilu, very, you can say, children, they are always asking questions. He said, yes, Daddy, this spacecraft, this is very funny thing to look. What is there in it? Because this spacecraft, it is not of normal shape, very, you can say, funny shape. His father shook his head. He said, yes, yes, can't say for sure. We are only allowed to observe it from far. He said, I can't tell what is it, because we can only watch it from very, you can say, far away place. But we control all its parts and can exercise our power if it is up to if to any mischief. Mischief means any naughtiness. His father said, we can only watch this spacecraft, but if it is going to cause any you can say naughtiness or any harm to us, we can control it, we can have power, and we can control and we can stop the functioning of this spacecraft. He pointed to an impressive panel with several colored buttons on it. He looked at them wistfully, means with great interest he was looking, because Tilu's father, he has shown him great panel. On it, number of switches were there, different colors. Very impressive panel. He said, with the help of this panel, with these switches, we can control that spacecraft. Now, Tilu felt interested. So now he was thinking, now what will happen? Look, it's up to something, Daddy. Tilu suddenly noticed some movement in the spacecraft. Now, Tilu, he said, Sir, Daddy, that spacecraft is showing any movement. I think it is going to do something. Others in the control room saw it too. All eyes were now glued to the screen. Glued means fixed to the screen. So even other people in that control room also, they have also noticed that movement in the spacecraft. And then what happened? Everyone's eyes fixed on the screen. A mechanical hand was emerging from the spacecraft. Now what happened? A mechanical hand. Mechanical means not human. Hand of a machine. It came out from the spacecraft. It was approaching to the surface of the planet, and from the surface of the planet, it is trying to pick something. It bent and touched the soil. What was it up to? People crowded towards the screen for a closer look. So hand came, it touched the soil of the planet, and everyone looking like this in this manner, that what it is doing. The telescope lens of TV camera zoomed in to the tip of the mechanical hand. So when the thing is small, you try to zoom your screen. In the same manner of the control room TV screen, that it was zoomed to see what is there. Tilu was staring at the control panel and its attractive buttons. Tilu was just looking at that control panel, the beautiful buttons on it. An irresistible desire got hold of him to press the most prominent of all buttons, the red one. He moved. So Tilu felt, this is the last big red button. What will happen if I will press this? And he moved. He tried to press it. There was a shrill means sharp whistle. Tilu found himself in the center of attention. So as soon as he pressed that button, there was shrill sound, whistling sound produced. So everyone looked at Tilu. His father pulled him away roughly and restored the red button to neutralize vision. His father pulled him. What you have done? And he again pressed the neutralize button, neutralize in order to stop the action of that red button. But the damage was done. Mechanical hand from the spacecraft ceased to work. What was the result? That the mechanical hand which was there, it stopped working. At a press conference held by NASA, a scientist was briefing the world press. Everything has been going smoothly with the Viking mission. There is a small hitch, means there is a small problem. Mechanical hand which was to dig out the Martian soil for examination has developed a malfunction. We don't know the cause, but the technicians are confident they will sort it out. So finally, on the Earth, this news, it was, you can say, published by NASA. In this news, they have made it clear that when a spacecraft has gone to Mars, from the spacecraft, the mechanical hand, it came out to pick up the soil. But suddenly what happened? Nobody knows that this hand, it stopped working. He said, but our technicians will find out the reason what happened. But nobody is knowing that it was because of Tilu's action, that it was Tilu who has done this. So finally, and shortly afterwards, there was another press release. So then after a few days or a month or so, there was another press release. What was written? The mechanical hand is working again, thanks to the efforts of our technicians. Soil samples are being collected and examined. Soon we will know the answer to the question where there is life on Mars. So then when Tilu's father, he pressed that button again that hand started working. So again, immediately NASA he published this news that now again that mechanical hand is working, and now we are going to collect the samples of soil from Mars. And now what will happen? We will come to know that whether there is any life on Mars. So now we have come to know that why that spacecraft has gone to Mars. So what is the reason of going to Mars? The reason of going to Mars is to have, you can say, to get the samples of soil so that they will come to know whether there is any life on Mars or not. Life on Mars, of all the planets in our solar system, Mars is nearest in location and physical conditions to our Earth. So the scientists behind the Viking mission were hopeful of finding life on Mars, but they were in for a disappointment. They did not find any samples and they did not find any, you can say, evidence that there is life on Mars. The Viking mission found no signs of life on Mars and they were not able to find any signs of life on Mars. So finally, this question still remained unanswered that whether there is any life on Mars, because people thought that there is life on Mars. So they thought that if there is any life on Mars, why? Because they thought that there is life on Mars because it is similar in conditions to that of Earth, as well as it is one of the nearest planet of that solar system. So they thought that there existed life near Mars, but the answer remains unanswered. It is, of course, a disappointment for them that they are not able to get concrete evidences that there existed any life on Mars. And finally, this is Viking mission, means the mission to find life on Mars. And finally, they were not able to find any life on Mars. So this is what this chapter is all about. That is alien hand. Now, alien hand means whose alien hand? Alien hand means the hand from the spacecraft which has come from Earth to Mars. That mechanical hand of, you can say, of spacecraft. This is called as an alien hand, and this is the reason why the name of this chapter is alien hand. So I hope, dear students, that you have enjoyed this chapter. Very interesting, very curious to know, and in the end, finally, we have come to know that children are really very naughty because Tilu pressed that red button and that spacecraft stopped working, right? So this is how we have completed this chapter, and in the next class, we are going to discuss the question answers of this chapter. Now, if you have any doubts, you can ask me.